welcome back to Stars on Tap. I'm Brian.
I'm Jim.
I'm Dino.
And this is our friend Dino. We invited Dino today for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is he brought the Holy Grail with him and several cans of the Holy Grail. So we decided that it's time to
As you can
review it.
See behind.
Yes, exactly. But there's also another little method to the madness, which the beaker.
Yes, we have a little beaker going on here. So we're going to do a little experiment as well. We're going to try to cultivate the yeast from Heady Topper, and I'm going to try to brew a double IPA and see if those esters and the flavors of the Heady Topper come out in my IPA. So.
The negative side for Dino and myself is that we can't drink a whole can of it. We have to save the bottom half.
Well, that's why Dino brought the extra can. So, you know,
at
the end of the day.
Those of you that don't know what Heady Topper is considered by Beer Advocate as the #1 beer in the world. It is top 5 maybe in rate beer. But
I think coming from the Northeast too, where it's a little bit more accessible for us. So we have had it before, and it's why we think it's one of the best beers in the world too.
You have your traditional West Coast IPAs, which, again, being from the Northeast, we really weren't able to get. And then now, with Northern New England getting into the beer industry, they've really taken off with their Imperials and double IPAs, and we're getting kind of spoiled here.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
It is absolutely a good thing. So we'll crack into it. This is a husband and wife brewery. They're in Waterbury, Vermont. They don't produce a lot. We were trying to figure out how much they do produce.
They actually produce 180 barrels a week.
Oh, there you go.
That's why we brought Dino.
Which from 2 years ago, they were producing 11 barrels a week.
Did I go too deep?
So...
Right,
they've definitely increased production, but it still feels like there's never enough.
So you have to have the Dinos of the world that doesn't have 3 kids at home to keep them up all night, that can drive up there once a week and bring back a case and treat us and sprinkle the infield around here in Hingham. So That's what we did.
Lucky us.
They say to drink Heady Topper out of the can.
Right.
It says just flat out right there, drink it out of the can. The owner, John Kimmich, thinks that that's when it's at its best. We all have our own theories as to why he says that, but...
Yeah, he says try to keep all the hop flavors and essence in the can, so when you drink it, you can get all those flavors in your mouth, in your palate, in your nose, and so it all kind of
a little bit of
together.
an agitation as it's coming out of the entrance of the can, but it's probably also. Hey, I didn't say he takes it in the can or he likes it in the can, but it also, as you can see, it's very cloudy and it's very. There are definitely a lot of floaties in it, so don't be freaked out if you get a can of it and it's got all these. You think it would be like bacteria. It's not. It's intentional. That's what's in there, and those are the wonderful little flavor savers that make it what it is.
Floaty goodness.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what we're trying to save in here too.
Well, the color as we saw.
Color's kind of like a kind of hazed out orange,
Yeah, it's like a little browny orange juice color almost.
Yeah.
Thick. It just looks
like
thick.
a soured orange juice.
Right.
Like when orange juice goes bad almost. For me, when I smell that, it smells like what I think of heaven. That's what I'm hoping. When I pass, that's what heaven smells like.
When I smell this, what I think of is when I turn off of Route 100 up in Waterbury. This is what I think of as I go down that road and I'm ready to pull into the parking lot. I can get that smell. Never leaves you.
I would never leave that. But it definitely has that smell of, it's got a little apricotness in there. It's got a little grapefruit.
You can kind of smell the malt. It's kind of that, It does not smell boozy. I mean, no. It is 8% alcohol, which is that's no joke. All right, I can't smell this any longer. I need to drink.
I'm going in.
Cheers, guys. Don't be greedy. Cheers to glass. It's insanely balanced, and then it just has that bitter explosion in the back that is just delicious. It's citrusy on the tongue. It's got that malt that kind of brings it together, and then it's got that just bitter, warming balance in the back.
I get a lot of citrus when I get at that first taste, and then it smooths out, it mellows out, and like you said, it's just perfection.
Yeah, it's insane. And I think the first time we tried Heady Topper together, someone brought us some, and so we had it together. And I'm not even gonna kid. It might have been Dino. I was very skeptical. I went in it like not like, oh, I got Heady, I'm so excited. Like I went in it like this. All right, it's potential. I'm gonna be like, this is great, but not great. Like this is, in my opinion, the top of the iceberg right here.
The thing with Heady Topper is that there's so much hype surrounding it. You figure when you first try it, there's no way that it can live up to the hype.
Right.
And then you do, and you taste it, and you smell it, and you just it overtakes you, and you're just like, wow, this is really as good as it's been.
And
you
know what the best part, even better than that, is that you usually think that it gets overhyped, so you try it, and you're like, wow, it is great. And then when you try it again, it's still great.
Right.
And you try it again, it's still great, and again and again, and never disappoints. It not even disappoints. It's like it's always phenomenal.
It's true though. It never disappoints, and I don't know if part of it is because of the infrequency or where we get to enjoy it, or if it's just the consistency of the brewery, or maybe it's a little bit of both. But again, it never disappoints.
Yeah,
the fact that you can't get it all the time, and when you are able to get it, it's a treat. And it's the type of thing. But that's also a negative, I find. And we've talked about this before. If I have a 4-pack in my fridge, I don't want to sit at home and drink it by myself.
I
want to drink it with somebody that
can enjoy it,
appreciate
that can understand it.
Yeah.
You know. So I end up giving it. Doing what Dino does. I end up giving it away to people.
Yeah.
Like, hey, try this. We can do a rating if you want.
101.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, This is the top of the iceberg. This
is great.
This is the best beer that I've ever drank, and that includes Pliny the Elder. That includes that Lawson stuff we had. That includes Abner we had a couple weeks ago. I mean, this is, to me, they're all right there.
You guys drink some good beers, huh?
I know. So do you want to pour a little bit of that, see what we got for yeast? Or
Yeah.
Now, I asked Jim, I said, how are you going to do it? His answer said, I have no idea.
So I'm going to take probably the bottom, 10% of the beer, swirl it around to get all the yeast out and whatever floaties.
John
and then we're going to pour
sees this video. He's
yeasty goodness.
Like, I got to find these guys. I don't want them having my yeast.
And the more, the better. So if we'll get the yeast, and then we'll basically just cultivate it / wash it, and then I'll create a wort. So the wort, you pour the wort into the yeast,
right,
and then it starts the fermentation
okay.
process. So what you do is what I will end up doing here is creating a starter that I'll pour into the beer that I'm brewing. It'll already be activated. So it's just a quicker fermentation. There'll be more yeast. Yeast people.
I
don't know what they call them.
More yeasties.
Yeasties.
That's just
in there to activate.
I hope you don't ever get the yeasties. So, cheers. We're going to enjoy this last Heady Topper. Dino, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
thanks for the beer and for the insight. Dino's Vino, ladies and gentlemen. Look for it someday.
And
be famous.
And don't be a D-bag and recycle.
Yeah, that's what John Kimmich says. Yeah. Follow us on Twitter. Jim's is at Eatwell Inc., at Stars Hingham, and Dino is at Dino's Vino.
All right, we'll see you at
Cheers.
Stars. Cheers.
Cheers.